Hello everyone and welcome to another FPL video on the channel. In this one we're going to take a look at how we did in game week 21, have a look at some potential moves for game week 22 and then my current provisional lineup for game week 22 itself. So let's see how we lined up in game week 21. As you can see, we had Kepa versus Liverpool. We then had the two Newcastle defenders in Botman and Trippier against Crystal Palace away from home, then Shaw at Arsenal away from home. So then in midfield we had Martinelli who played Manchester United, De Bruyne who played Wolves, Rashford who played Arsenal and Odegaard who played Man United as well. Then we had Tony who had Leeds, Haaland as captain against Wolves, and then we had Kane against Fulham. On the bench we had Ward against Brighton, Andreas versus Tottenham, Cucurella against Liverpool and Bueno versus Man City. So let's see how we did. So in game week 21, we managed to get 84 points. Another very good week for myself. I predicted it was going to be a low scoring game week. Boy, was I wrong. But yeah, we got 84 points. We went from a rank of 417,000 to a rank of 337,000. So another big green arrow for myself. Absolutely buzzing with that. We're currently flying at the moment, so that's fantastic. Hopefully we can continue to get green arrows and push our way into maybe the top 100k soon enough. But let's see who got the points. So Kepa, 9-pointer against Liverpool. Lovely stuff. Didn't think there was going to be a clean sheet there. But then again, Liverpool have not been great. And yeah, that's why we went with Kepa over Ward, who got 2 points. So it was the right decision. Then the Newcastle lads, another clean sheet for Newcastle. They're just so solid defensively. Trippier got max bonus points even though he got a yellow card. He is a bonus point magnet. And then Botman with another 6-pointer. Ticking along nicely. Lovely. Then Shaw against Arsenal. Didn't expect a clean sheet, and I was right. Arsenal managed to get 3 goals, so Shaw walked away with 0 points. We then had Martinelli, who did blank against Manchester United. He wasn't too involved, really. Didn't play that well, and yeah, he didn't get an assist or a goal. Then we had De Bruyne, who managed to get an assist, so happy days. And then Rashford, he actually got 7 points. I don't know why 2's there, but he did get 7 points. He did score a fantastic goal against Arsenal. So yeah, Rashford continues to be in fine form. And then Martin Odegaard, the new transfer in, did get an assist and yeah, walked away with 5 points. So not bad. Then up front we had Tony, who got 1 point against Leeds. Thought it was a good fixture for him. However, he managed to get a yellow card and nothing else. Then we had Erling Haaland, who I did put as captain this week. First time I've had Haaland captain in a couple weeks, I think. And it worked wonderfully. He was back with a hat-trick. So Erling Haaland hat-tricks are back. 34 points for him. Fantastic return. And you know what? If you triple captained him last week, you're feeling a bit hard done by. But that is unfortunate. Then we had Harry Kane, who got 6 points. He did score against Fulham in a 1-0 win. Surprising he didn't get bonus points, but a return is a return, so I won't complain. Then on the bench we had Ward, who got 2 points. Andreas 2 points. Cucurella, who started against Liverpool, and they did get a clean sheet, so we got 6 points on the bench. And then Bueno got 1 point. So is Cucurella now going to be starting again at left back? I don't know. So am I going to continue to bench him? Probably. I'm not 100% sure. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a few targets for game week 22 that I've got potentially lined up that I might bring in. I do only have 1 free transfer, so it does kind of limit me, but nonetheless, here are some options for me and maybe for you as well. So the first one on the list is Bruno Fernandes. Now Bruno has, had a bit of a revival in terms of goals recently. He scored, I think, in back-to-back games now, I believe. And you know what? He's nailed on in that Manchester United side, and they do have a double game week. Well, provisionally a double game week in double game week 22. However, if Manchester United or Leeds, I believe, draw in the FA Cup or get a second round replay, then the game will be cancelled, so it'll only be a single game week. So for now, hold your horses, but it probably will be a double game week for Manchester United and Leeds. So with that in mind, Bruno Fernandes is going to be locked in basically to play 90 minutes each game, or at least he'll start every game. He is the captain, well, vice captain, but Maguire doesn't play, so he is the captain. And you know what? On the form he's in, he probably is on penalties, although Rashford did take one last time when they were both on the pitch, but I think Bruno's on it. So, you know what, he could be a good way into that Manchester United side. 9.8 million, it's not cheap. You know what, he's a good option, and he is a bonus point magnet as well. After that double game week, however, though, we do have a Leeds again, so another good fixture. Then Leicester, then Brentford. So the fixtures are pretty good for Manchester United. However, I do believe in game week 25 they blank. So just be careful if you have too many United players. I currently have 2, but I may add Bruno, but then again it is another blank game week that I'll have to probably remove in game week 25. So Bruno's ownership is only 6.7%, so he's quite lowly owned. How highly owned he was like last season and the season before that. He does have 4 goals and 5 assists this season, so you know he's not up to his usual standards that you would expect with Bruno. We haven't really got many penalties this season, so I suppose you could say that's a potential reason why, but I think he's on a bit of a revival of form under Ten Hag as well, so I think those numbers will start to come up. He's currently got 87 points. That is target number 1. What do you guys think? Are you looking at Bruno Fernandes? So the next target is James Ward-Prowse. Now he's a bit of a budget option at 6.2 million. However, I think that Ward-Prowse is the main reason that Southampton are going to do anything this season. If they're going to stay up, it's going to be through James Ward-Prowse. Now he seems to be playing in a more attacking position as well. Seems to be in the attacking midfield position. Usually he's like a bit deeper, or he was under Hassan Hutel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, he seems to be more attacking. Obviously, we know about his free kick prowess. I believe he's on penalties as well. So, you know what? Ward-Prowse, I think, is a decent little option. The fixtures aren't bad. Brentford, Wolves, Chelsea, Leeds. And like I said, you know what? If Southampton have any hope of survival, it's going to come through this guy. He scored 4 goals in his last 5 games. He did actually score in the last game week as well, but it was disallowed. So you know what, that just shows that he is getting into positions, he is scoring some goals as well. Obviously he's not going to be a prolific scorer, it is Ward-Prowse, but at only 6.2 million, that's not something that you're looking for. You know, you're not looking for returns like a Haaland would get you. So I think he could be a little budget option if you need another midfielder who's on form. He's quite lowly owned as well at 5.4%, you know, so that's not a lot of players really. So overall, he has 5 goals and 2 assists this season with 75 points in total. But 4 of those goals have come in his last 5 games, and the assist was in the prior to that. So he's got 4 goals and 1 assist in his last 6 games. So that's not bad. And the final option is going to be Matoma at 5.1 million. He's very, very budget himself. Now he's a potential option for me to replace Andres Pereira with. It's only 0.6 million upgrade. I have that funds in the bank. So that's something I am looking at doing. Now he seems to be getting a lot of game time for Brighton at the moment. He scored, I think, 3 goals in his last 4 games, and he's got an assist as well. He's on fire at the moment. His last goal as well, the goal he scored in the last game, was an absolute cracker. So he's got all the confidence in the world right now. The manager seems to trust him. And you know what, he's flourishing at 5.1 million. It could be a bit of a budget beast. So as for fixtures, they look quite decent. He's got Bournemouth at home, which is a lovely fixture. They then have Crystal Palace away from home, then Fulham at home, and then they do have Newcastle away. So the next 3 are pretty decent. Obviously Newcastle's a tough game. Newcastle don't concede many goals. So I think for the next 3 it looks very good, and then you could just bench him. So Matoma is a very good option. So there is a potential for them to blank in game week 25. It's not confirmed, but it is potential. So yeah, Matoma at 4.5% ownership. I do expect that to continue to rise. You know, at 5.1 million, he's very easy to get to, and he's scoring goals. So why wouldn't you get him? Got 4 goals and 3 assists, and he's got a total of 56 points in the season. So you know what? Matoma is a very good option at a very cheap price. So let's take a look now at my potential game week 22 team as things stand. I've not made any transfers just yet because there are 2 weeks until the next game week. There's a lot of cup games on the weekend and midweek, so that's why I've not made any transfers, and I won't do so until the deadline is approaching. But for now, this is the current team, so let's have a look. So we've got Kepa versus Fulham at home. Decent fixture. Fulham do score goals though, but Chelsea are looking a little bit better, aren't they? Especially with Badiashile coming in. You know, Thiago Silva's a world-class defender. So maybe they're starting to find their feet a little bit under Potter. So things could be looking up. We then have Newcastle's defenders of Botman and Trippier. Obviously both are the same team. They play against West Ham at home. I expect this to be a clean sheet. West Ham don't get many goals, especially away from home. Danny Ings is now, I believe, out for a few weeks with an injury. So damages them in attack even more. So I expect Newcastle to have a clean sheet there quite comfortably, and Trippier probably walks away with 3 bonus like always. Luke Shaw is the next defender in the side, with a potential double game week of Crystal Palace at home and then Leeds at home. Now, I think this could be 2 clean sheets for Manchester United here. Defensively, we're pretty damn solid. With Lisandro Martinez now coming back into the side, we've got Lisandro, Varane, it will be Wan-Bissaka, I believe, still, although we do have 2 weeks, so Dalot could return, and then Luke Shaw should start at left back. So it's a strong defensive lineup. Casemiro will be back for those games as well, so that strengthens us even more. So I think there could be 2 clean sheets right there, if it is a double game week in fact. Palace, you know, they managed to basically fluke a goal in the 90th minute with a wonder strike from at least the last time we played. They don't really score many goals, so I think that could be a clean sheet. And Leeds, Manchester United should be strong enough defensively to hold them out. At least that's what I'm hoping. That should be 2 victories for Manchester United and 2 clean sheets. On to the midfield now, and as you can see there, triple captain Marcus Rashford is currently lined up. Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home, 2 fantastic fixtures. Manchester United versus Leeds is usually a banger, right? There's usually a lot of goals in that game for Manchester United. Bruno does have a great return against Leeds, which is why he's also an option. But obviously I've got Rashford at the minute. He's the man on form, scoring a lot of goals this season, and we heavily rely on him to get a lot of the goals. So against Palace and against Leeds, I think it's a prime time triple captain. I really do, and I think the Rashford's going to absolutely smash it. That Leeds game is the one. If it's called off, the triple captain won't be played, of course. It won't be played in a single game against Crystal Palace, but if it's called on, it's showtime, I believe. On to the other midfielders now, and we've got De Bruyne versus Tottenham Hotspurs away from home. Now, Man City put 4 past Tottenham the last time they played. Do I expect it away from home to do so? Probably not. Maybe not 4 goals, but I do expect them to win their game again. And you know what, hopefully De Bruyne is involved. So then we have the 2 Arsenal lads. Arsenal, the form team, best team in the league at the moment, against an Everton side who have just lost their manager. So potentially it might be a difficult fixture with the fact that they might have a new manager boost. You know how it works. But then again, I think Arsenal should be too strong for this Everton side. And I expect Odegaard to be heavily involved like he always is. And hopefully Martinelli is as well. So moving on to the attackers now, we've got the 2 attackers facing each other. We've got Kane and Haaland. So Kane has Man City at home. Now Kane did get a return in the last time they played Man City. He got an assist. He's very consistent this season, isn't he, Harry Kane? Hopefully he can get another assist or another goal against Man City. And then we've got Erling Haaland, who did score against Tottenham the last time they played. So he probably will return again. But to be honest, Haaland returns don't really do much for our rank as he's so highly owned. Then we have Ivan Toney against Southampton at home. Now this is a plum of a fixture. Southampton not the best defensively. Brentford pretty decent in attack, and it mostly goes through Ivan Toney. He's also on penalties. It's at home. I like this fixture a lot, and you know what, if it wasn't for Rashford being double game week, he could be a potential captain option, see, you know, as like a differential Ivan Toney. I like this fixture a lot, and hopefully he can do well. So onto the bench, we have Ward against Aston Villa away from home. I do think Aston Villa will score. Leicester don't seem to be doing very well at the moment, so that's that. Andreas versus Chelsea. I think Andreas could be involved in a goal maybe. I do think Fulham will score, but yeah, I don't think Andreas gets in over any of the players in my current team. Cucurella versus Fulham at home is someone I am tempted to play. Now, if I knew was nailed to start, I probably would start him. But then again, I don't know who I would start him over, because all of the defence won't get replaced. Shaw has a double game week and Newcastle will keep a clean sheet. It's whether I replace maybe Martinelli, who hasn't returned in a few game weeks. Maybe Cucurella could come in for him. But I think Fulham might score, which is why I'm tempted to not do that. And then we have Hugo Bueno against Liverpool. Now, there is potential for Wolves to keep a clean sheet in that game. Liverpool out of sorts at the moment. Wolves, you know, defensively a bit better under Lopetegui. Should, you know, at home should be, you know, quite solid. There is a potential for a clean sheet, but like I said, he wouldn't even be the first person to come in off the bench. It will be Cucurella. So that's how we're lining up currently for game week 22. Rashford triple captain is on the cards. Very exciting. We just need to see how the cup games go midweek. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. And if he can get a rest as well in maybe the FA Cup game against Reading, that would be ideal. But let's see how it unfolds. I'll have another video obviously closer to the deadline with my confirmed team. And you know what, if the double game week is it, I think we're going to triple captain Rashford. If you're also going to triple captain Rashford, drop a like and, you know, leave a comment, let me know that you're going to do so. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers guys.